So you have a long Sunday. Yeah. Everybody must be tired. So I make it short. I have nothing to share which you have not heard or learned before. And the one thing I would like to share you about my personal experience when I be here, and also I know the Sravasti Abbey for long time. When I'm hurt outside of the Shavasti Abbey, when I come here, actually my perception about how you live, what you do is completely changed. Not because you have a mountain and hills and forests, because how you live the very profound spiritual life, which I really envy and really, what to say, really appreciate and rejoice your merits and community. That one thing, and then like I don't see any valuable that I have to share with you. Honestly, I'm not trying to humble or nothing. So because many of that you here engaging spiritually, purely, ethically. Honestly, I feel sometimes a little bit shame in myself. I'm not doing some of them, which was I have no one to blame. It's for myself and my circumstances. But having said that, the Dharma progress always comes with the individual's day-to-day reflections, learning, meditations, and then try to live it. Its day-to-day life brings a transformation for sure. And then, especially most of the Dharma practitioners, when we practice Dharma, we have two sessions called engaging sessions and a session between the engage. So we mean this between, like say, meditation, dedication, the refuge taking. So whatever you engaging in dharma activities, most of them, not only you, everyone, we try to focus and try our best to bring the mind into the right track or path. But sometimes we lose, or consciously or unconsciously, many of us, especially monks, I'm not including you because I don't know anything about your day-to-day life, personal, why you are not here in the prayer room or not here in the meditation room, not in the teaching sessions. So most of from me, I fail to be on the track of spiritual thinking why I am out of spiritual activity, like sleeping, taking rest, or doing some engaging in general domestic works, like things like that. And as you have engaging in the lamrim, between the sessions or leisure times, like when we are engaging, that time, most of times we use our time like that, like we sleeping almost half the our day, and then we have so many other duty to survive, and even the spiritual community we have so many things. So I think like those times, how we engage in as a part according to the lamrim, if we give more attention by, like, even I will give example like cleaning, kitchen duty, cleaning, or writing email, whatever we are doing at that time. Also, I'm not saying the seniors, especially saying for youngers to bring motivations and generating the motivations for the beginning, and then be mindful about those. And so this slowly then it makes us become habit of that doing. And then after a long time, it automatically comes. That's how the training is supposed to be influence of a way of thinking, way of doing. Like that one, like my teacher always so before you go to sleep, you have to think about death or impermanence, and then try to uh, visualize some positive thoughts, like even you deity self generated of deity and sleeping like. So I'm doing try to do this little bit after my teacher passed away, and then automatically it feels like sometimes, of course I'm not doing it all the time, but it's more comes naturally like that. So what I mean is, when we engaging into general things, which are the many of the times we are consuming that. If you are writing email, okay, my email is, I'm going to dedicate it to purify my karma and accumulate the merit to serve the Sangha community. And even it's like related with the communication with the, your precious teacher, and related with the Sangha member, then it's more profound. You can, oh, so how lucky I'm, like something like we can generate it, even it like email. So yeah, when it's, yeah, if this, those people who I'm not so familiar with Buddhist, we say email, we can email make a huge merit. They say, well, come on, that's does not make sense. Something like, but we know that every action we can transform into positive thinking. So that's I want to just remind. I try to do that also. And then second thing I want to share you is especially when you grow up in the Western cultural. This mainly for the younger ones. We especially we grow up into the Western academic schools, and then we have to reading books, all this, which my teacher profoundly remind me every time that normally, that's I notice, I'm not saying here, but many of the Buddhist people, they say, oh, I have read Lama Tsongkhapa's book, so I finished the reading book. Okay, now I will pass somebody and give, the sharing, that's wonderful. But here the problem is, in the Dharma, when you read one time, it is not about a story. So my teacher says, if you read one time, it gives a one meaning. If you read 100 times, it gives 100 meaning. So even you looks like, normally we have a habit of reading books one time, oh, then I know the story, I know the theory, I know the whatever the contents it's mentioning. But Dharma, regarding the spiritual practice or Dharma reading, it is completely opposite. Even sometimes we think we know it, we know by words or the definition perceptionally, not in a deep understanding, of course, not about the realization, but for deep understanding. So for the younger venerables, we like for me also, I was like a little bit like struggling with that kind of concept because I've been in the school, so I'm reading it's Thomas book textbooks. I'm reading more like the school textbooks, which habit was there. So that's why, and then I'm not trying to see the shallow meaning, and then I'm not thinking. So like Geshe Thakur, I noticed when he read, and then sometimes like he 15 minutes or something like was like, and then this, so thinking on the meaning, and like for me, that sometimes reading, like read, try to finish as much as pages I can. But for him, he's like reading and then reflecting, and then sometimes even we don't get the meaning, read one time, two time, three time, four time. Then we have, you know, over the understanding will become deeper, deeper. That's how the familiarization process started in our connections. That's I want to just share you. And then sometimes, for my personal experience when I was in monastery, when you really don't have a concrete understanding about the Dhamma, beginning I'm a little bit exciting because I was recognized as a true guru, so it's sort of excitement, privilege. I could be like this, that. When I really started to study, and then of course transformation will not come like this. It especially if our mind is really, really untamed. It's take months and years to bring or experience some kinds of transformation. So at that time, and then we have this kind of expectation and greed for also spiritual progress. We have greed automatically. So we say, oh, I should be like this. I should be like within 5 minutes, 5 years, it should be like this. It should be like this. It's good to have kind of transformational target to good, very good. I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes it's over greed will overshadow that, and then frustrations and other things started rising up. Even in the monasteries, sometimes we debate. Some are really good, even they are really good, better than any of else, but they want to be a top. And then they get frustrated. I'm frustrated, and they decided very, very unfortunate things. Yeah. So what I mean, everybody have a different mental scopes, mental capacity, merits, and connection. So we just try our best, and we don't need to compare who is better than who, especially spiritually. Of course, I'm not saying here, but it's in the big monastery, like academically, we have those. It's also coming when we, especially we're young, and which makes a frustration and discouragement, and this also happen. This one thing. Second thing is I would like to share that sometimes we may not aware of our progress. The spiritual progress is not about achieving some supernatural power or something, but if you see your way of thinking towards the life itself, and also how your emotion react with the things that especially not good around you, and then that time you are better than 5 months ago, better than 1 year ago. There is a huge improvement like that. So that I just want to shape from my personal point of view. And then sometimes for me, like if I'm too busy, even in my engaging in the spiritual practice, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to uh, generate motivation. Of course, I'm doing according to the spiritual textbook like that, but I forget about future lives, about a long time. And if you are attached with really good motivation, all the motivation, okay, and you are doing all this for this life, and then even it's not Dhamma practice, you know that for abandonment, right? So we have to remind that again and again to have more fruitful or beneficial. Uh, that's one thing. And second, uh, Geshe Shitakela often advised me that we should sometimes reflect how lucky we are. We keep reminding us how lucky we are to be like in this community and this kind of faith you take this kind of decision, and then that time, imagine millions of Americans here, and some of you are really, most of you have professionals, you have a very good degree, you can make a lot of money also, and but you keep everything, give up, and they come here, and then who can do that? Actually, you have not good karma. So this will be very, very important for us to remind how lucky. Like sometimes when I run the sendo, I have a lot of challenges. Of course, this samsara challenges. I never imagined that I will be in that situation. Sometimes I'm almost give up like that. Then Gesla always says they have hundreds of tukus in Loseling who are better than me in anything, education, practice, name, status, and looks. But I got this opportunity. No one, asked you to do that. Somehow, I never planned to set up the center, by the way. Yeah, in the neighbor have set up my dream to have a center in, especially in Texas. It just happens. It just happens, and then I blindly just pursuing to establish that maybe this my greed is also involved, but somehow it happens. Then I have to set up, and in the shallow mind, I'm thinking, oh, this will benefit it for the karma and for the loseling and like that. But in deep down, also my ego is involved there. Of course, I'm not rich in the first bhumi, so until you reach in the first bhumi, ego is always involved. And also, that's having said that, sometimes we spiritual practitioner have ego may come, attachment may come, all this negative may come. At that time, also you don't blame yourself or discourage, because you remember that we are not Buddha completely. So I have this. The difference is when you have those, if you are in the lay person, you may struggle with there for weeks and days and days. But here, maybe one day, if really very sad, one day, then maybe 2 days, then maybe few minutes, few hours, you can walk with that. That's beautiful, right? And then even you live out of this, and you can use those techniques. So like that, and that's one thing. And so here the rejoicement, how lucky I'm. This really and keeps us to go, keep us going for our spiritual this. And then sometimes our psychological, human psychology is so funny. When you live in such an environment, even if you don't feel, it's become so, what do you call this? So, it's not granted, it's become so used to that. Then you don't feel the appreciation, don't feel the holiness, don't feel the luckiness, don't feel the preciousness. It die, and then it's become normal. When it becomes normal, and then it's not functioning properly, because this emotion should be like fresh. It should be fresh, like so. That's why we have to, terms of, That's why we in the Lamrim, the meditation on the human preciousness so important, and we know we are very lucky. We have this human body, everything is okay. That's we know, but to and the purpose is to remind and feel that, so that we can really become stable and strong, and it will doesn't affect other emotions. Like even something really terrible happen, you will not get easily affected your emotion. That's one thing. And then second thing, this happened to me. In this, I'm sharing all based on my the experience. Okay, so when I was in monastery, I have a cook, I have an attendance. My teachers are wonderful. My classmate think I'm a tuku, so it's very good. So I think I have a no, I mean like external challenges for my emotions. So I thought when I'm in monastery, I think I'm really cool. I'm very passionate. I'm not angry, upset. Sometimes months, nothing happens because everything is okay. So like, okay. Then I came to America. Came to America with a group of monks. So there we live 24 hours together. And then we have go here. Sometimes we have equipment with things that we have to do. Sometimes we rush. Sometimes we don't get the breakfast properly. And then, like me, if I don't get the breakfast, I will get a little bit upset. That's some people like that. Anyway, so and then the monks who travel with me for 24 hours, they used to me and they know I'm as a human being, and then they don't think I'm Rinpoche, they don't regard anything. So they sometimes curse me, they sometimes yell me. Then I get wow, 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 like really, I'm really. Then I realized I was so weak. I'm very, very weak. And since I come, almost I spent like 25 years in monastery. I cannot handle my friends some little bit high volume words. How weak that is, you know. So I feel really, really shame myself. Even I may sometimes not admit it out of ego, but I'm struggling. I realize. Then slowly, slowly, it's realized me that those are the like opportunities we have, all the lambim lodge or everything we say. Actually, we have to be in the battleground to really counter those emotions. So, bad things should be happening. Like, practitioners, all these Katamba masters, they pray, please, something bad happen to me. Please, bad happen to me. It's not because they want to suffer. They want to improve with the opportunity. So yeah, sometimes when we have difficult times and we have differences with our spiritual friends, we should remember that, oh, sometimes we have this feeling, he's always mean to me, he always does something, he maybe don't like me or something. I feel like that, so I should do something for him, or explain him, or try to make him that I'm a good, I'm something, I'm trying to prove that, instead of just, changing myself. So this happen especially in the bigger community. Every day you live, walk together, this one thing. And then this lead us to see the, instead of just appreciation building the pure vision towards other spiritual friends, we may have, because of trigger, that's trigger, and then we see small mistake. Oh yes, I know she don't do that yesterday, and that day also she don't do that, and she's also like that, she's like that, he's like that. So it automatically comes and ruin our emotions, especially when you live in the community, larger community. That's I noticed, and that's also helped me also with some way. That's I want to share you. I don't also. It doesn't mean you have those issues, but I'm purely I'm sharing on my personal experience. That's one thing, and second thing is like we should project future consequences. When I should do like this, this. When if I have this kind of emotion, how can I do? Like, so we project the future problems, including death and including all this. Then it's programming in your mind, and then when it actually happens, it makes us to think better. Otherwise, what happened? Like, it's also for me. Like normally I don't think that much about the death. Of course, the death or impermanence, the death is so, uh, we talk about that, but deeply I'm not thinking, I'm not preparing that. Then my teacher passed away suddenly. It's blow my mind at this. I don't want to pray. I don't want to do anything. So so this happens sometimes. So just like that. And then second thing, like even I realize this very helpful in America. Can you imagine, like, when I was become monk, 2 year, 3 year, I'm just fantasizing the lay life, Oh, my friend have a beautiful girlfriend, beautiful wife. Here, like this. You may not have this. I know because you have already experienced those, and then you already uh, fed up with these things, and you already come. So this will not. That's wonderful. Actually, you should have like that. But for me, I don't have those. Then I'm projecting all these and like this. I'm here. What should I do? I'm just saying the vase is round and it's a black and white. Horse is white color. So why I'm wasting like this? I'm like I feel like that to keep. And at some point I thought I should run away like that, because I don't see the really benefit and for long-term benefit like that for me. And so um, then when I come here, how even the spiritual community, I realize we have uh, ex-monks in New York. When I talk with them, they say, "Oh, I made a huge mistake to decide to give up the rope." They are normally not serious Buddhist monks in Vanya monastery. They walk here, it's like this, normal monk. And they say that if I have another opportunity, I want to become monk. I don't care anything. I see the world. I see the true samsara. And then, the their way of thinking, their wives complain me and say, he is acting like the monk now. And then please, can you advise? He's a family father. So, and then I try to tell my friend, oh, you should be like more responsible father. I told already my wife that I cannot change. I lived in monastery for 20 years. And how can I change today suddenly? So here the point what I'm trying to say, when you live in the spiritual community, the habit of living, this spiritual life is so strong. It's deeply it's your way of thinking. Even you are not monk, it will benefit. It will be changed. That's how benefit the spiritual community and live in this spiritual life. That's what I'm trying to say. Even they are not serious practitioner or serious the monks who study, but they are not great philosopher or not. But even those can have that kind of thinking and mentality of spiritual thinking. So, and then people like you can benefit. How much we can benefit like that. This thing. Second thing, like because of live in the spiritual community, because of we have this thinking and connection with the spiritual life, I realized huge change in the American society and the Tibetan society. Like my mother, she's a village girl and no education. She only learned through oral teaching through elders and believe this. But she know that her children should be nun and monks. And that's why she put my three sisters, she put into the nunnery before she died. So you understanding? So live in that. So I'm saying benefit of living in that cultural transformation is so big. Even they don't start in. They even don't know Nagarjuna write six textbooks. They don't have it. But core belief and this make it because of this spiritual environment in the family life also. And the one time I was in New York and in the museum called Natural, it's a big museum, Natural, also, no, Natural, yeah, it's a museum. And one person asked me, Tibet, long time, very poor, you don't have any schools. He said, no, we have a best school. I told him, because every village we have a school and a monastery to build the good human beings. We may not have an engineering school or medical school, but we have, I just jokingly saying, and then I realized that's true. Yeah, that's one thing. So like that. And then, like that, you see how lucky we are. Forget about whether we attend the first Fumi, second Fumi, third Fumi, or even we have a bodhicitta or not bodhicitta, that's fine. Just benefit of this life, like when your time of death, when you retired in America, majority of people are just imagine they're waiting for death. Waiting for death. They may not say, they say, I retire, I do something, volunteer, I do here, or I do. You see a lot of the retired people go RV and go here, and they cannot kill the time. For us, after learning this, staying here for many years, study, you can live happily, no loneliness, nothing. And those who have not doing the Dharma practice, forget about all this emptiness, other things. They become, one of their spouse die, they become so lonely, And then before the death, I see many people have so much loss, confused. They don't know what is happening, and so much. But for us, we have some, after death, we can go, we can born here. We have something, like say, if it is like this, if you have some, like say, you know that this is, okay, and having said that, this will not happen to you also. I know many Western Buddhist practitioners. They are very good, they love Buddha, they love their teacher, they love meditation, everything, but they don't believe, strong believe in the life after death. And so this may be because of cultural influence and belief. It's very difficult for them to believe in this. And then what happens? If we don't believe in the life after death, knowingly or unknowingly, foundation of Buddhist teaching is totally gone, as you know. Karmic, belief in the cause of karmic is also gone. And all the pursuing for future life is gone. Everything is gone. So, of course, I'm not saying we Tibetans have a better understanding about the life after death. This is totally from cultural, we say we are 100%. But my point is, we should reflect it on the why we have a life after death, why we have a next life, why have we have this, through the uh, reflection of those analogy has mentioned in Brahmanika, Pramana, Pramana, and why the body and mind are separated. So we keep reflecting this, and it's make a stronger and stronger belief in the life after death. And then that makes us to lead for pursuit for the future. Purifying karma comes from there. Seeking a better rebirth in future is there. Our enlightenment is also based on that understanding. Our the Four Noble Truths also will be based on that principle, and also the why we to generate the bodhicitta is also based on this. So it's very important to reflect that. As for my personal experience, I don't mean I have good understanding about this. Of course, I'm still struggling. But I found it's important. Yeah, like that. So I'm just jumping here and there just to share you like that. Yeah, thank you. I know you have a very long day, so yeah, you must be tired. Any questions? I would like to just say, don't ask the philosophy question. I don't know. Yes.
Rinpoche, something that I've thought about is how much we benefit from teachings from monks trained in the monasteries, like Geshe Tapkela.
Yes.
And that for most of these teachers, our connection with them has been established through venerable children, and that most of us haven't even been to Dharamsala, don't have the opportunity to connect with the Tibetan community. And I was wondering if you had advice for us on how into the future we can continue to connect with skilled teachers who have trained in the monasteries in India, that we might not just have the chance to bump into in India, but how we could maybe maintain that connection with the traditional Tibetan community who have just incredible teachers.
Yes, yes. From my personal view, this is totally my personal view, okay? Whatever our karmic connection, karmic, because of our karma or because of whatever, for me, like, I never choose my teacher. And when I become monk and my comes in, uh, introduce my teacher, and I stick with that. And then wherever, then my teacher, he says sometimes, oh, I'm not available, you got this teacher. So I got there and I pursued that. And so my point here is whatever the karma brings you, I'm not saying 100% you rely on, of course, in the to finding the teacher, we have to do a lot of investigation, a lot of this. In the lumbering, we're saying to find the. But for me, everything, I just rely on them. If I have that, I just focus on that. We have some people like this. Some people, we think if there's a very famous teacher, then I should go there. In the own teacher here, we think this is normal. This, I don't mean you, but we think this is not enough. But then the Tibetans, of course, Tibetan learn more. Of course, I'm saying if you have opportunity, you can find you can receive the teaching like that. But normally, whatever teaching you have, teachers you have around right now, then that you just think Buddha. That's what I normally think like that. That's one thing. Second, if you really wanted to seriously want to change totally in the Tibetan, then you can go to Dharamsala and find. Yeah, really. That's the only option. I'm saying, like, like you really think your teacher is some Tibetan or this, and then there. So right now, also, like, the when you reflected masters who have met the teacher, I tell you the story. There's a Ling Rinpoche, in the past Ling Rinpoche. He have a teacher who is also not learned, that not great Tibet or something. And then one of his attendants told him, "Oh, you, Ling Rinpoche, you are very high, so you should have very famous teacher who's very good in this." And Ling Rinpoche replied, "Please don't tell me this. This teacher transformed me the most, better than the other learned ones." So it need to be connection, karmic connection, whatever like that. So it's more about building the karmic connection with the teacher rather than finding the uh, famous philosopher or famous teacher like that. So blessings and transformation come how we connected to the teachers, especially like guru devotions, main thing. So like in the Lamrim, you heard this story. Great masters, they are great learned masters. One day he's traveling with his retinue, his students. He go into the village, in come, and then he immediately, this one village old man is advising some of the village people. Immediately he just get out from the horse and sit down and listen. And then all these students say, "Oh, why you do like that? You are very high lama. You are very great. Why you listen to this song? Please don't tell me." He benefit. I learned two things from he and benefit lots. So our main thing is whatever do we learn from the teacher, just this. At whatever we have this. So I would say this, and then of course, like if you wanted to connect it to, well, you can invite it also. Talk with the Sangha community. Majority want to bring teacher here, and then that's you can connect it more or like that. That's what I feel, you know. So this is your karmic teacher. If you pray, and also sometimes when we marriage, we have to dedicate it that may I can make my teacher more connection and see more out of him to benefit me to dedicate it. We also dedicate it to find the right teacher, and even the right teacher is sometimes in front of our eyes, and we didn't realize also sometimes. So whoever transforming you, that is the root teacher. It's not about somebody who has a title or very holy in terms of society. It doesn't mean that it can change you. No. Even you sit in the Buddha's lap, if you have no karmic connection, nothing can happen. So it's we pray that may I find my teacher, whatever the teacher I have it, that's Buddha sent me. Buddha sent me, and I look him as a Buddha. It doesn't mean that he's a Buddha. We know he's not Buddha. He's a human being. But how I can relate it to this as a Buddha, because I have eyes of seeing Buddha in that form. If you have blurry eyes, you cannot expect to see clearly. That's all you have that. So, therefore, even the teacher you don't understand or don't learn, you don't connect, that's we need to understand that that's your purification is like that. So for this, I will, if you have a strong faith, even the teacher don't know anything, he say emptiness, you realize emptiness. He don't need to go to the high school or he don't need a PhD in Buddhist philosophy. If your karmic repentance, karmic connection comes, one word can transform you and enlightened. So, teacher, don't like I understand what you mean. So, devotion towards you for your teachers, and try to connect it that more. And then opportunity, if you have opportunity, you can also go to receive teachings. That's you can do. Yeah.
You mentioned that your teacher died unexpectedly and you had a lot of grief coming up.
Yes.
How did you work with that?
Yes, you're right. Main thing that later I realized it is attachment, not my guru devotion. You know, when I was actually, I left my family and come to India when I was 5, and then in school, and so I didn't share that much time and bondage with my parents. So when I hear the news my father died, I hear my news of my mother died, I don't feel anything. Oh, they die. It's like it's somebody, a stranger die. It's like really, it's shameful for me. I have no, feeling when your parents die. but not because I'm a good practitioner. I understand the impermanence. Not also that, because basically I have not connection. But when my teacher passed away, I'm really grieving, and I cry, 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 cry. And then, is that Guru devotion? No, totally, 100% no. If that is a true Guru devotion, I should be work hard and more practice. I didn't do that. So that means clearly it's out of my attachments. And then the in the monastery, one good thing about is when you emotion, maybe it's a blessing. Maybe because we every day we go debate, every day we talk about the spiritual things. So 1 week I'm really sad and grieving, and then slowly I realize. So I have another teacher. I talk with them and like that. So most grieving, like this. This benefit also for monks. Even we grieve, it becomes short, because soon as we realize it is attachment or it is emotion, negative emotion, then slowly we work on that and then slowly recover. How long it takes depends on how much you practice totally. So it's not take me too long. Uh, but normal people, one time Pandita is in Ishtapke in the Emory University. So there's somebody arranged him to talk on the class where all these professors, psychology professors, most of them dealing with grieving, like things like that. So they're asking, Tibetan and Buddhism has so much things to say, how to prevent this, how to do this, how to do this. Do you have anything instant? Like if you're in hospital, you are really grieving a thing about impermanence. Nothing works. So point here is that basically Dharma practice is preventing and programming our mind before the encounter. So, and then it's ready, and then you can use, and and then we can get it. So, if there's people who have no Dharma background or no practice, if we ask the advice, same like what we advise normally each other, it doesn't work anything. Funny thing, I tell you, there's one young uh, Spanish American guy. He came to me. He was so depressed for many days. He's almost going to suicide. He told me he's very sad. Somehow he come to see me, and then I try to advise. That's quite long. I'm trying to advise. Oh, don't depress. You have to do things like this. Wonderful America. Imagine in India, people like you have no car. You have beautiful car. No, it's not beautiful car. It's a Toyota. But I am giving example of comparing him to the Asian people. The Asian young boy. The Toyota is a dream car. But this is my leg of my skill in understanding. So then he let us say, now don't tell me, oh, blah, blah, blah. Just tell me something that I can work with. Then I'm almost saying, just go. I'm almost want to say that. Then slowly, I don't know why he say, okay, you stay there and say, oh. So my main idea is I want him to distracted all his distracted emotion to focus on trying to. That's only my motivation. And then he say, oh, what is this? This is very powerful, okay? Do you think here, and then energy grows, and it will help you to reduce your emotion. That's all I'm trying to bring back his hypo discharge. Then he said, I see he's a little bit calm, he's changing. So I was like, then okay, now what is the next? I have no next. Then I told him, okay. And then I saw the Thanga painting, green Tara Thanga painting. Yes, okay, we have a mantra. Ta re tu and then he said, okay, you learn this every morning, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever you like. Don't push yourself. Do this and try to feel the energy. And then after 1 week, come back. I said this, and then he go. And the funny thing is, he say he feel better with this. So you never know what is working with this. So like that. So so in the, it's like you ask me how you advise somebody who have grieving. Very difficult, because most of the grieving, it's not happened for like this. So many relations, so many, and then also when you are your emotion was grieving or depressed, whatever it's, when it's that it's all dependent. There's so many causes and conditions, and it's a long time, and it's not like overnight. It's just like build up, build up, build up. So how you gonna reduce for one day like that? And just say this, and until unless you have a high power, you cannot do anything like that. So yeah, and for us, all that meditation we're doing, those are supposed to be applied for grieving, applied for any emotions. So that's why I say, put yourself all this. Like one time I have very bad pain in the appendix. Very bad pain. I thought that must be the pain of death. Yes, I was like, oh, pain. And then I go to the hospital. They take me to one hospital, and so they're waiting for the doctor to get injection or whatever treatment. And I was in so much pain. Then I thought, okay, if I'm suppose I'm dying and have this pain, how can I remember my gurus and the Buddhas and try to dissolve one by one? I think I'm failing, you know. So, because I don't do this normally. So, after many years, then one time I have very bad tooth. Bad tooth pain is also very painful, very bad, very bad. So then it's very bad, but then I try to think about all these. Like, if suppose I'm like in the dead pain like this in my bed, I'm dying, what kind of emotion I'm going to do? So thinking, immediately I realize deep, I have a pain. Deep down in my mind, I'm a calm and peaceful, and I can slowly can reflect that all those luxurious mind. So it takes time, and it's possible. So this way we can do that. But for general grieving people or depressed people, if you ask me, I have zero knowledge. I don't know what to tell. So just say something, hope that it works. That's it. Yeah, like that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then thank you for giving me this, spend time with the most venerable Sangha member. And basically, I saw here how much you effort to find Geshe-la, and really, and then most impressing thing is we put every effort to find him, and then oversight we can, right now, as venerables mentioned, we have zero knowledge, hoping and pray he will be healthy and happy, and we can expect anything, ready for anything. It doesn't mean we don't care him if he doesn't resolve. So and then reflect on whatever karma decided. It doesn't mean we always say it's karma, so we don't. It's not about that, but just hoping, be positive, and then hoping anything. So it will help us to this, and then in future, in case if something you need help, we are there. In my personal, I will there. and I'm always there to help. I cannot help anything, but just come here and eat your good food, and that's it. So then, please keep all session being in your daily prayers, and you have a wonderful Sangha member, and you are purely follow the Buddha's teaching. And when I hold the ball, sometimes I almost cry. 30 years I spent in the Tibetan temple, one of the best. I never hold a begging bowl and eating the begging bowl. This is my first experience. So I'm so lucky. It even you hold the begging bowl and pretend like the Buddha's follower, how much merits we accumulated. In future you will be more connected with the Buddha in the next life. Even we don't enlighten this eons of Shakyamuni Buddha, Dharma, we have connected. This will be marriage, will be us to born in the follow of the Mithya Buddha. So like that. So wonderful. Even the hold your begging bowl is so lucky. So lucky. It's not tradition. It is a blessing. It is how that we it's I cannot imagine, like we put only on the Buddha's hand in statue, that's it. Tibetans do only I don't know why, but we don't have that system. So yeah, very lucky, very lucky. So I appreciate, rejoice all of your merits, and dedicated this for all the beings. That's I want to say. Thank you. Good night, and pray for success your all your Dhamma practice, and all the venerables, especially senior teachers and all this. Please live long for the benefit of sentient being.